Hey guys, Inder this side from 24/7 everything. Hope you all are doing great. We are again back with another video, and this time it's on Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1. In this video, we're going to discuss the difference between the original stock ROM version 429 versus the pre-decrypted stock ROM version 429 by the custom developer Itsamec. So let's begin with that. So firstly, let's move to the about section and verify a few things. Like again, it is same build with the ending 429 based on Android 10 with the security patch level 5 June 2020 with the same kernel version. But in this particular room, there are few good things and there are few bad things as well, and I'll be just discussing those, and I'll be leaving everything else because I've already reviewed the original stock room version 429, which you can find on our like official YouTube channel. So firstly, let's move to the developer option. So for that, you have to turn it on. So like, let's move to about section. After our build number, just tap 7 to 8 time, and afterward that developer option will be available under system like this. And afterward, you just have to move to the very bottom where you will be able to view theming. So here you will find three different options. One is accent color. So developer has added few accent color here. And a part of this, body and font is same like which we found in original stockroom version 429. A part of this icon shape, he has also added few of the icon shapes as well. So you can play with this and it will work absolutely fine. After this, now let's move to the security section. Although there are everything same like pin, pattern, password, then fingerprint, face unlock, everything is working fine. There is no glitch, there is no problem with that. So I'm just keeping it and try to do it as soon as possible. A part of the storage section, again same like what we found in original stock ROM version 429. But now let's discuss from the sounds perspective. So I have feel like, or I would say I have found that the sound on this particular pre-decrypted ROM is somewhat better as compared to the original stock ROM version 429. So again, whenever you will be flashing this ROM, if you will find the same thing, then do confirm us in the comment section below. Otherwise, if you are like facing any issue, then you can also post in the comment section below. A part of this, I'm just skipping the display section because all the options are same like lock screen and so on. Now let's focus on the battery matrix. So the very first thing would be related to the battery charging time. So in this particular ROM, the battery charging is somewhat like, I would say it took more than 15 to 20 minutes more as compared to the original stock ROM version. So roughly it took nearly about 3 hours and 10 minutes to fully charge like my phone from 0 to 100%. Whereas in stock ROM version 429, it took nearly about 2 hours and 53 minutes. So again, I'm using the compatible 10 watt charger rather than the original Asus charger which was shipped with this particular phone, because I have already stopped using it that since nearly about 7 to 8 months back. Now let's talk about the ideal battery drainage. So like again, I have analyzed this for over 1 or 2 days. So sometime I thought like I have analyzed it is showing me 2 to 3% of battery drainage and sometimes 3 to 4 at most. So I'm considering 3 to 4% of battery would be drainage over a span of 7 to 8 hours. But whereas we were in original stock ROM, it was having nearly about 4 to 5%. So it's hardly a negligible 1% ratio, nothing more than that. Now let's move to the battery consumption from the gaming perspective as well. So for that, firstly, let me open PUBG Mobile. So I was using these graphic settings like with the HD graphics and with high frame rate. So I have played nearly about 1 hour of gameplay to analyze my battery matrix. So the battery consumption was nearly about 14 to 15%, which was the same as on the original stockroom version. And a part of this, temperature readings were also same like during this particular gameplay, like before starting the game play, the temperature of my phone was 34 degree. As soon as I completed the game, like temperature of my phone was 38 degree. Now let's move to the Call of Duty and discuss the battery metrics from that point of view or perspective. So again, you can verify the RAM management like I had opened this earlier when I was creating a video, and now again it is opening from the same screens. So I was using these graphic qualities like medium graphic quality and high frame rate. Again, the same settings which were available on original stock ROM as well. But this time the battery consumption was little bit less as compared to this original stock ROM. So on this particular pre-decrypted ROM, the battery consumption was 15 to 16% for a gameplay of 1 hour, whereas in original stock ROM version it was 18 to 19%. So like developer has done some sort of, I would say, optimization in terms of battery, but not sure how these things works. A part of this temperature readings, So it is also same like on this particular room. Before starting the gameplay, the temperature of my phone was 35 degree. As soon as I completed, the temperature was nearly about 38 degrees. So after battery consumption, now let's move to connected devices. I'm again going to skip it, or I would say do it faster. Again, Bluetooth and screencasting are working absolutely fine, like we were having in the original stock ROM version. Now let's focus on the network and internet. Although everything is working the same way, like there is no option available for native video call or call recorder, but there is a good news for the Airtel users. Like Wi-Fi calling is available on this particular pre-decrypted ROM. So let me show you as well, like my mobile network Airtel, and you can see this particular icon, that is Wi-Fi icon, like Vo Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi calling and so on. And apart of this Wi-Fi connectivity, mobile internet, SMS and call, all are working absolutely fine without any glitch. Now let's focus on the quick settings section. Again, quick settings are all like almost same which were provided to stock original stock version, and everything is working fine. That's why I'm also skipping this part. So apart to this, like FM radio, the already shipped app is also working fine. Now let's talk about the bugs. And coincidentally, all the bugs are same that we have found on the original stock version and even on this. And even developer has mentioned that those bugs will be persistent on this particular ROM as well. Like again, Google search bar is fixed here. Like on the original, it has been fixed here, and like in this particular ROM, it has been fixed here. And developer has tried to give the look of like I would say custom ROM look in this particular pre-decrypted stock ROM version 429. Apart to this same gap between the navigation bar, when we will be using gesture navigation, Zenfone logo is again back on the boot screen. Vibration issues also there, somewhat improved as compared to original, but again it is persisting. Apart to this USB preferences, where we do transfer data while using USB cable by connecting it with our mobile and laptop, it is also the same. I am unable to transfer the data using that. After this, now let's verify the device certification. So in this particular ROM, device is not certified, but whereas in stock ROM, or I would say original stock ROM version 429, it is available, like it is by default certified. Apart to this, now let's talk on the status of camera to API. So by default, again level 3 support is available, which is again in Android 10 beta 3 as well as version 429, the original one. Then security level or white one certification at my side is L3, and it has been persisting since the time I have flashed beta 1 version in custom recovery. But at your side it will be L1 if you will be following like whenever you will be flashing. But there is a catch. Once you will be flashing this, you have to flash the firmware version 082, otherwise you will lose the white one certification for forever. Okay, apart to this, stock camera is also same Gcam. I have already reviewed there, and I'll be providing you the URL for the same in the description box below so that you can go over afterward. Now let's focus on the benchmarks. So for that, let's focus first on the Antutu benchmark. So like overall scores are 1,46,220. Apart to this, these are the consolidated on the basis of CPU, GPU, memory management, UX, and so on. Apart to this, I've also gathered down the Geekbench scores as well, or I would say for the analysis part. So using CPU or computation, I would say CPU, the single core score is 280, the multi-core score is 1202. Apart to this, on the basis of computation using OpenCL, the core score is 448. Again, the same thing, I was unable to run it for the Vulkan API, so I have tried 2 to 3 times and it was failing after reaching 70 to 80%. Now let's focus on the memory management. So let me open a few like graphic centric apps. Like firstly, let's open PUBG Mobile or Call of Duty. So first open Call of Duty. So you can see wherever we have left while creating this particular video, it has opened from the same window rather than starting from the scratch. And apart to this, let's move to the Call of I would say PUBG Mobile. So again, it has also opened from the same window where we have left. So overall RAM and memory management is working absolutely fine, like the same we have found on the, I would say, original stock ROM, except for this particular Antutu. But the strange part is that it is opening from the same window where we have left, but it just like triggers something to show this particular screen. Again, white one certification, let me open Chrome, which I was using. So again, everything in terms of battery management, or sorry, RAM management or memory management is working absolutely fine. Now before we jump into the installation part, let me like give my overall review score. So again, I'll be giving the same overall review score as compared to the original stock ROM version 429, that is 80 out of 100, because if they have added the Wi-Fi calling option for the Airtel mobile, then there is a like issue with the battery charging because it is taking 15 to 20 minutes more as compared to the original stockroom version. Now let's focus on the installation part. Before we jump into the TWRP recovery mode, let me show you like I've already created a dedicated article on my official blog. The URL for the same will be provided to you in the description box below so that you can go over afterward. So nothing major has been mentioned. Few links to download the ROM, a part of this Magix optional. But again, if you will be needing to like for the device certification, you have to download it. But I'll be also providing you the URL for the like how to certify the device in the description box below. Apart to this, notes by the developer side changes known bugs from the ASUS side. Then prerequisite like backup your data, charge your phone battery to this percent, like 50% or more, but I recommend 80%. Then bootloader should be unlocked, TWRP custom recovery should be installed. If you are not aware, then we have already provided you the dedicated videos for the same as well. Finally, the installation using TWRP ROM or sorry recovery mode. Then firstly format data, then wipe cache Dalvik data in system. Vendor partition is optional. Finally install the ROM because it is and there is no need to flash GF separately because it is already including it. Afterward, just reboot the phone and finally enjoy the beauty of stock ROM version 429 on your phone. And finally, these are our social handle. You can either follow us or subscribe us on any of these. Now let's jump into the TWRP mode and proceed with the installation process. So finally we have been booted to the TWRP recovery mode. So according to blog, firstly we have to tap on wipe and afterward we have to tap on format data. And afterward just tap yes here and afterward just tap blue tick button here. It will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes to format data in the background. So just to be sure, you have to take backup before doing this part. Afterward just move back and this time you have to tap on this advanced wipe. Here you have to select 4 different partition. One is Dalvik, cache, data and system. Vendor partition is optional. If you want you can do it. So I have to wipe it and afterward just move to back until unless you move to the home screen of TWRP recovery mode. Now you have to tap on install button and this time you have to first tap on select storage. So if you have put your file in USB OTG drive, then it select that. If you have put in micro SD card, then you can select this. I am using micro SD card at my side, so I am selecting that. OK. Afterward jump to the folder where you have kept. So just for the simplicity, so just select this particular file and afterward just swipe to confirm flash. And afterward this particular installation process will start and it will take nearly about 4 to 5 minutes. So in the meantime, do not play with your power button, volume rocker button, because it will either soft brick your phone or hard brick your phone. And afterward either you have to visit to service center or you have to use the queue fill method and so on. So let's wait till the time this process completes and we move to the phone setup process. So finally the installation process has been completed. Now we are left with two options. One is reboot system and another is wipe cache Dalvik. Just tap on wipe cache Dalvik so that all the junk file behind this particular installation will be clear. Now we are good to go with the reboot system. So now it will take nearly about 2 to 3 minutes to finally invoke the, I would say, proceed to the login, sorry, not login, to the logo screen and so on. So finally we have reached to the Zenfone logo screen which I was discussing before. So let's wait for the next steps. So finally the phone setup process has been started. Let me select English India and we'll move to further on. So after selecting English India, now just tap on start. So afterward it will ask me to connect to Wi-Fi connection. Let me enter it. So after successfully entering the Wi-Fi credential, now it has checking for the update. It is related to Google Play services. If there will be any minor or major payload which will be pending in the background, that will be completed here and it will move to the next screen. So after that particular step, now it is asking copy apps and data from the Google Cloud. So if you want, you can tap on next, but for the video's convenience, I'm just tap on don't copy. Now again it is checking info and afterward. Now this is the vital part. Either it will ask you for the pin which you have set in your previous ROM, be it custom ROM or stock ROM, or either it will ask you for the Google account associated if your pin will not be verified. So let me enter my pin. If it will be legit, okay, now it is saying that it is not legit, so I have to use my Google account instead. So now it will ask me to log into Google account which was previously associated here. So let me enter and afterward it will if it will be legit, then it will allow me to proceed further. So after successfully verifying that Google account which was previously associated on my device, now it has moved to the next step. So again it is checking something and it will be moving to the final steps and so on. So like checking, now it will ask you for the voice assistant and so on. So anything else? No thanks. Now adding the finishing touch and directly boot into the home screen. So okay, again let me just skip this part. Setup is almost completed. So by default, whenever you'll be flashing this particular ROM, it will be shipped like this, like with this particular wallpaper and this. There is nothing on the home screen, and even you will see very less number of apps which will be shipped with this particular ROM. So like Messenger has been removed, like few of the bloatwares have been removed, and so on. Let me confirm you once more by going into the about section and then Android 10, same version, 5 June, Android 10 with the ending version 429 and so on. So this was all from my side related to the difference between original stock ROM version 429 and then versus the pre-decrypted stock ROM version 429 by its AMEC custom ROM developer. Hope you like this video. If you really like this video, kindly share this with your friends and family. And apart from this, please subscribe to our channel because this will surely motivate us and boost us to create more videos like this in the coming future. Finally, it's the time to sign off now. Bye for now. Thanks.
Let's sing good night.